Shalom, shalom. Shema Yasharallah, Yahweh Alahayanawa, Yahweh Akkad, Wa Ahabta At Yahweh Alahayaka, Bakal Lababka, Wa Bakal Napashka, Wa Bakal Ma'atka. Hear, O Israel, Yahweh our power, Yahweh is one. And you shall love Yahweh your power with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. So we're on the first Torah portion in the Torah, which is called Bereshit Baraahshyath, the first words of what we know as the Bible and what we know as the Torah. And we're in the third day, which is the third Aliyah, the third reading for this particular Parashah or section of the Torah, which is Genesis chapter 2, verse 20 through Genesis chapter 3, verse 21. Okay, so that's where we're starting at, and that's where we're reading at right now. Okay, that's what we're reading at right now. And if you have problems with Facebook, remember, all of these broadcasts are always going to be on YouTube. Okay, these broadcasts are always on YouTube, so you can always find them on YouTube also. Sometimes you might have a better connection with YouTube or with Facebook, depending on what's going on with your data. Before we get started, I want to make some clarifications. First of all, I'd like to clarify from Genesis chapter 1, verse 26, when Elohim said, "Let us make man in our image." This is talking about the dominion, the order, and the structure between mankind and the Most High and the creatures that are on the earth. Shalom, Kata. Between the mankind, the Most High, and the creatures that are on the earth, everything is in its order. So the Most High said, "Let us make man in our image." Who is the us? The us that are part of this conversation are the angels, Yahweh, and the Father, Yahweh. That's who's part of this conversation. Let us make man in our image. Okay. Now, when we go into verse 26, I want to clarify and say that there's no such thing as a dyke, as a faggot, as a homosexual, as a transgender, as queer, as gay. There's no such thing as experimental. There's no such thing as multi-gender. There's no such thing as any of these little things that have been created, all right, by people that oppose the word of the Most High. Only thing Yahweh created is male and female, and you fit into one of those categories according to your birth. If you were born with the penis between your legs, you're a man. You can't cut it off, have a surgery, get fake breasts put on, and be a woman. That is not what a woman is. All right. If you were born with the vagina, you are a female. You are a woman. Your gender and your spirit and your heart and your soul are all connected together, and you can't change any of them. It's all one cycle that's together. You can't change it. You can try to alter something physical, but even when you alter it physically, you can't change it. Who you are was already mapped out, all right, from your father's cells that he gave you, whether it was a so-called X or a Y. Okay, so when you get into this, what you're looking at in terms of Bruce Jenner, the famous tennis player back in the day, calling himself Caitlyn Jenner now, that is a man with a penis that went to Dr. Frankenstein, and Dr. Frankenstein gave him some type of silicone and sewed some type of skin onto his body and gave him breasts. Not even gave him breasts, gave him something and stuffed it in his skin, because it ain't breast. It's something other than breast. This is the breast of a male right here. This is a male's breast. All right. It doesn't have mammary glands. It doesn't have excessive fatty tissue under normal circumstances. It doesn't produce milk. It has no mammary glands. So what the so-called white man is doing is going against the creation that we see in Genesis chapter 1, verse 25 and 26, man. 26 and 27. We don't even get into the Bible yet before we see that the so-called white man and his father Satan are trying to change what we have from the very beginning of the creation of all creatures on the earth. Right from the beginning, all right, this dog is trying to change the creation into something that the Most High Yahweh did not establish. Okay, now when we read, I want to clarify also that when we read in Genesis Bereshit chapter 2, and we looked into verse 18, the Most High said it's not good for man to be alone, so let's make a help meet for him. That means a person, a woman that's going to help him, that's going to stand before him and perform the tasks that are needed to help the man. That's why he made the woman, to help the man. Everything you do is to help and serve the man, woman. Everything your woman does is supposed to help and serve you. That's why she was created. That's why she was created. She wasn't created to be independent, to go get her own little career path and go get her own little jobs and go get her own little life without you. She was created to be a help to in front of the man. Remember that word front there is nagda, which means to be in front of, to face. So the woman was created to be a help to face the man, to read, look at him, to understand what he's saying, and to go and perform the task that he's given her to perform. Now, if he says, don't work, that's what she has to do to help him. If he says work, if he says have one baby, have 3 babies, if he says make pumpkin pie or make kushaw pie, she has to do it because that is her purpose of being created, to help the man. So I want to just clarify those 2 things. There's no such thing as transgender, faggots, lesbians, dykes, what they call homosexuals. That's a Greek word. There's no such thing as homosexual in Hebrew. The Bible calls a man laying with another man an abomination. That's what it is. It's an abomination. There's no special word for it in our language. Our language has no special word for a man and a woman trying to have sex with somebody that has the same sexual instrument as them. It's not a puzzle. You can't take 2 puzzle pieces and put them together and call that a puzzle. To have a puzzle piece, you need a shape that's cut out like the puzzle piece, and you need the puzzle piece, and then you put that puzzle piece inside the little shape that's cut out, and that's your puzzle. That's your puzzle. You can't take 2 holes and make a puzzle. You can't take 2 puzzle pieces and make a puzzle. You need a hole and you need a puzzle piece. All right, so that's what Yahweh created. So I just want to make that clear from Genesis chapter 1, verse 26 and 27, and Genesis chapter 2, verse 18. All right, so now we're going to start from Genesis chapter 2, and we're going to go from verse 20 to explain what happened after the Most High made these creatures and Adam named the animals. All right, verse 20, read.
Genesis chapter 2, verse 20.
Read loud.
And Adam gave names to all cattle.
So Adam gave names unto all of the beasts that the Most High created. All right, let me get that Kumash over there. The water. All right, so the scripture says that Adam gave what?
Names to all cattle.
So Adam gave names to all cattle, which is bahama, which means a beast. So all of the beasts, go ahead.
And to the fowl of the air.
And to all the birds. Remember, the birds came from the waters. We read that in Genesis 1. Read.
And to every beast of the field. But for Adam there was
So chayath, anything that's alive, that's in the field, Adam gave names. Go ahead.
But for Adam there was not found an helpmeet for him.
And Izar, okay, Kad Nagda Wa, that stood before him. Because Adam is doing the work of the Most High. So the Most High has his little help he made on the earth to do his work, to do his bidding, to perform tasks that he wants them to perform. But for Adam, Adam had no one to do that for him. So Eve was created to be Adam's servant, to help Adam do the things that he wanted to have done. That's why it's making this comparative right here in verse 20. Adam did all these things because the Most High commanded him to do these things. But for Adam, there was nobody to help him. All right, there was nobody to help stand before him or help meet. Okay, that meet is actually going into meet, which means coming together, standing before, like meet me at a certain location, because the word here is nagda, which is associated with the word nagad. It's the same 3 letters, which means to go in the front, to stand before, all right, to hear and to beseech, to hear and to cause the process. Okay, so there was nobody found to do for Adam what Adam was doing for the Most High Yahweh. So Yahweh created Adam, to be his worker, to be his servant. No question about that. That's the order. That's the structure. Then Yahweh created Eve. He's about to create her to be Adam's helper, Adam's Izar. All right. Now we're in Genesis chapter 2, verse 21. Read.
And Yahweh Elohim caused a deep sleep to fall upon
So
Adam.
the Most High made Adam go into like a trance type of state, a deep sleep, almost like being put under, like anesthesia. Read.
And he slept. And
So Adam was sleeping. While Yah Yashan. Okay, while Yah Yashan. Adam was knocked out. Go ahead.
And he took one of his ribs.
So the Most High took a piece of Adam's body. When a man and woman come together, their DNA fuses. And when they form a child, that child has chemicals, elements, and biology from both people. Okay? It starts usually with this changing of saliva, spit, body fluids. And then it mixes in with the sperm into the woman. And the sperm into the woman goes through the fallopian tubes, go up to the ovary, finds a little egg in there and penetrates that egg. And then the baby, that's when the spirit enters into the baby. There's a release of zinc and there's a release of energy when the sperm goes into the egg. And that's when the spirit is going from the 4th dimension into the 3rd dimension. All right. So the Most High is saying, read that part again. He took what?
And he took one of his ribs.
So he took one of Adam's sides, something from the side of Adam. Now, notice he took something that was in multiples on Adam's body. So Adam can have more than one rib. And man can have more than one rib. All right. So he took it and did what?
And closed up the flesh instead thereof.
And he closed the flesh of Adam. All right. So he took it out and Adam was incomplete. And then he closed it up and made Adam whole, made him complete again. But Adam had to lose some of himself for this woman to be created. That's when the man goes into that humility state. And his nose is open, as they say. And he really wants this woman. And then he's not in his right mind, per se. Okay, he's willing to do anything for that woman. If he doesn't have control of his emotions, he'll even kill for that woman. Because he's in that same trance that we see the Most High that put Adam in from the beginning. So the man has to be able to tame that desire for the woman and balance it with the word and the character that Yahweh expects us to abide by. So the Most High took Adam's rib. Now, I'm not going to go, I'm giving milk right now. A lot of y'all might want me to go deeper a little bit, but I'm going to just give milk right now and take it for what it says. He took a rib from Adam's body and and he took the rib from the body and he closed it up. He closed it up. So before he did anything with this rib, he took it and he closed Adam up. So Adam was complete now. Adam was whole. Adam did his job. Now he wants to make a help from Adam. But to make the help from Adam, the woman has to have a piece of Adam in her. So she has to share Adam's dream. She got to share Adam's world. She got to be a part of Adam. She got to breathe from Adam's DNA into her body. She can't just be made from something or some other man. That's why they become one now, because she's taken from Adam. Her existence centers around her becoming back one with Adam, coming back to his rib cage and sharing herself with him, because now she's there to help him. She's there to keep him upright, to keep him straight. That's why the Bible calls a good woman a what? A pillar. The scripture says that wisdom did what? She took out 7 pillars. So when Yahweh created Adam, he took a part of Adam out, and then he's going to make the woman for Adam. All right? So that woman has to see herself as part of the whole. And what the white man have done, what the devil have done, is made the woman think that her existence, that her life experiences are meant to be or can be achieved outside of the spectrum of the man. And this is impossible. This is not the purpose of a grown woman. The purpose of a grown woman is to serve the grown man, with or without children that she has with that man. She may not have children with him. She may have children with him. But her purpose is to serve the man, not her own agenda, what she wants to do. And the man's purpose is to serve Yahweh, Allah Shaddai, God Almighty, El Shaddai. Okay? So the Most High showing us right here that the rib was taken out of Adam's side. Are you in verse 22? Go ahead.
And the rib which Yahweh Elohim had taken from man made he a woman.
So it says that the Most High, it says Yaban. All right. So Yaban. So the Most High made this woman, built her up, molding her around the man that she was taken out of. You see, the woman has to mold herself around her man. She got to mold herself to be what the man want her to be. She can't just be out and saying, I'm gonna do my own thing. I'm gonna be the way I want to be. I'm gonna do my own program. She got to be programmed according to what her man desires, what he want to do, not according to what she want to do, her own thing. So the Most High showing us right here. All right. So she got to take herself and put herself put the man at the center of her existence. That's what the woman's supposed to do. Why? Because she's existing because she came out of Adam's side. The woman's existing because she's supposed to be connecting back to the man. You see? The man was existing before the woman, but the woman was not existing before the man. She was taken out of the man. And the Most High is using that and building around the woman what he wants her to be for Adam. Okay? All right, read.
And Adam said, this is my now.
So read that part again.
And Adam said, this is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman.
All right, so the Most High brought this woman, or brought this Asha to the man. All right. She brought him to man, which is Adam. Go ahead. Verse 23.
Because she was taken out of
Just start from the top again.
And Adam said, this is now bone of my bones.
Mm-hmm. So this is bone of his bones. So now we see that she comes from the same family as Adam. Just to drop that in there real quick. She comes from Adam's family. She comes from Adam's genealogy, Adam's lineage, from the people that the Most High had created before he took Adam and made him from the dust and breathed the breath of life into him. All right, read.
And flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman.
So she shall be called woman. All right, woman, which is woman, which is Asha, is the difference between Ayash, which is man. So what Adam is saying is that with Ayash, with both of those words, we have fire. Ah and Shah is Ash, which means fire. With Adam, we have fire and we have control. We have a hand, Ayash. Okay, we have Ayash. Okay, so Adam can control the power, and Adam can control his mouth, his tongue, what he grinds up, because that's what the hand is in between. You have Ayash, you have Aleph, Yod, and Shin. You have Alap, Yad, and Shan. The Alap is the cattle head that represents power, strength, resources. The Yad represents what? The Yad represents a hand, control, power, direction, dominion, things like that. The last letter, Shan, represents the tooth, being grounded up, being consumed, processing, things being done, privately. Now, when he took the woman and the woman was made, he called her Asha, which is Alap, Shin, and He, or Aleph, Shin, and He, or Alap, Shan, and Ha'a, which is an ox, power, strength, resources. Then it's locked up, Shin, Shan, which represents the tooth, ground up, locked up, being done in private. And then we have the beholding of it. And when we take both of those letters out, put them together, the difference between the two names, we have Yah. So Yah is supposed to be the common factor between the man and the woman's fire being balanced out between the two of them. The woman beholds the fire. The man controls the fire with his hand. So now Adam is saying, you behold the fire. All right? You behold the fire. She beholds the fire. She's a fire to behold, and she lights fire. Like the scripture says, love is kindled as a fire. The Bible and the scriptures tell you that. Love is kindled as a fire. All right? So now Adam says, I'm going to call you the fire to behold. I'm going to call you the ox, the tooth, which is Ash. And then I'm going to call you behold, look upon, draw attention. All right? Draw attention to. All right. All right, go ahead.
Because she was taken out of man.
So he said because she was taken out of the man. So she's not Ayash, she's Asha. Because you were taken out of the man, so you have less power. So I'm going to control the Yad, and you're going to behold the Ha'a. You see that? So what you behold, I control. And I'm going to control the action that I need to be done, and you're going to execute those actions because she was made to be a help unto man, according to what we see in Genesis chapter 1. All right. If we don't understand this fundamentally, we're going to jump to other books of the Bible trying to understand what marriage is. But we see it right here. The order is Yahweh, Yahushai, the man, and the woman. In none of these relationships, the person that's under has no right to challenge or to question the person that's above. The child can't question the authority or the instructions of the woman. The man can't question the authority of Christ, Yahushai, Hamashiach. And the Yahushai, Hamashiach cannot question the authority or the power of Yahweh. So how is it that the woman can question and challenge the authority of the man? Because she learned that from Satan, from Hashatan. It is not part of the structure that the Most High gave us. She coming from Adam's rib. So how is the rib going to question the head of the body? Adam is the head and she's the rib. She's the bone in the structure of man. And she's supposed to serve the structure of the body. Now we know the man's supposed to love the woman and all that, but we ain't get to that part yet. We ain't get there yet. You wanna jump over to jump to Ephesians, jump to Galatians. All right. We ain't even finished over in Genesis yet. Let's start from the template right here. The woman's job is to help the man. When she was created, the Most High didn't take her from the head. He took her from the rib. All right. The rib moves and does as the brain, the mind, the head commands it to. Same thing with the woman. So now that Adam says, I'm going to behold you. I'm going to check you out. Check this thing out. That's where they get the term trophy, a shot, and fire. The woman, love is a fire. You see that? So now the woman is created for the man, and she was taken from the man. So Adam gave her identity. You understand? So her identity was from Adam. She didn't establish her own identity, being her own person, doing her own thing, who she wanted to be in life. She got that from Adam, and she received it, and she executed it. But she went too far. Right? That same behold will cause her eyes to wander, as we're going to see, and behold things that she ain't supposed to behold. But when she beholding something, she's supposed to go back to the hand, the yad of the ayash, her hand, her power, which is the man, and tell him, look, I checked this out over here. But we see in the scripture, she put her hand to something that she wasn't supposed to, and that's when the marriage messed up. That's when Yahweh got upset with us. All right. So call your verse.
Genesis chapter 2, verse 24. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh.
You see, and that's why you got men running around here poking everything with a hole. Because according to the Bible, it says il khan, which means upon this, affirmatively, upon this, yes, upon this reason. Okay, it says ya izab ayash ath abaya wa ath amawa. So upon this, for this reason, a man leaves his father. Okay, ya izab ayash ath abaya wa ath amawa. For this reason, for what reason? For the reason of getting a wife, for the reason of getting a woman. The man is supposed to leave now his mother and father. Meaning what? There is no man that's not with a woman, that haven't made himself one with a woman yet, that's supposed to be just out there with his own apartment, his own living, doing his own thing. Supposed to be with his parents until he's about to get his woman. The Bible is telling you right here. The Bible is telling you that right here. So all them resources you going out there working for, all them hours you getting on your job, all this independence you paying for is supposed to be going into your father or your mother's household if you got one, or the people that raise you, your guardians if you got some, no matter if you're 35, 40, 45 or whatever. You see, now all these things are supposed to be going into your family unit. And what that does, that gives you a chance now to save up more. So you got more money to save. Now you got more resources that you can get your hands on. You see, but the white man tricked us into thinking, oh, you grown, you 18. You got to go out there and get your own place. You got to go out there and get your own thing. So all the things you working for, all the resources that you have bringing in from your labors and work is all going back out to the devil, to the so-called Illuminati, to the so-called United Nations, to the Bilderbergs, to Satan to control and operate his world. But the Bible tells us plainly and clearly in Genesis chapter 2, verse 24, it says, Il Khan, for this reason, for this purpose, upon this. Therefore, it says, Ya izab, leave, go out, journey further from the house. Okay, izab, weapon, in house. So now you're ready to get out there and do your own thing, get your own house, all right, get your own family started. Izab ayash, leave the man toward Abayawa, his father, wa amawa. Now that's even showing you that the woman and the father are together in their house, and the son is there with them. And when the son is ready to get him a little woman to have children with, that's the reason that he leaves his house. That's the reason he leaves from his mother and from his father. That's the reason. You have no other reason. See, the white man done tricked everybody into thinking you go out there, you find your own way, and you do your own thing. But you ain't supposed to do that. You're supposed to stay with your parents. Now, if your parents is wicked and now you in this truth, you might want to consider that again. I don't know. I'm just saying. But according to the scriptures, that's the reason. All right, go ahead.
And they were both naked.
Now read the last part. Leave his mother and father.
Therefore shall a man leave his mother and his father, his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh.
So leave your mother and father. You cling to your wife. You say, you know what? You're going to be my woman. And then you what? You become one flesh with her. So these two are no more one, but they're twain. Are no more twain, rather, but they're one. They're wrapped together now. They're one. They literally and metaphysically become one. Shalom, shalom, regalia, dawad, dawad. You late, man. You missing it. So here we see that they become one. They are one right now. They're one flesh. La bashar achad. How they become one flesh? This is literal. The tissues and the liquids from the man and woman are exchanged during sex. They exchange during sex, and they seal that deal, and they make themselves one. And then the baby really seals the deal to make them one with each other. So this is what the scripture is talking about. So that woman, when she becomes that man's rib, the water regalia, the water, they become one. So when she becomes one with that man, now she totally submit her will, her desire unto him. It ain't no more independent living now. Now she's under that man. Now she's under that man. But they're one flesh. One flesh. But who's the head? The head is man. The man is the head. All right, go ahead. Call your verse.
Genesis chapter 2, verse 25. And they were both naked.
Now this word naked, okay. Irwamyam. This is talking about a nakedness, but it's talking about a sexual purity also. So they're both naked. So they both saw everything for exactly what it is and the beauty of what everything is. They both saw everything the way it's supposed to be seen in the righteous order and in the you can have a seat if you want. You ain't got to, but you can come in and sit down. In the righteous order and structure that Yahweh is setting up. That's what this talking about when they said they were naked and what?
And the man and his wife, and were not ashamed.
But they weren't ashamed of the purity, of the righteousness, of the holiness that the Most High had created in them when he made them. There was no problem with it. All right. So everything was perfect. Everything was unified. Okay. There was no lust or no wickedness or no vile desires because of their private parts or because of what they knew about each other. Okay. All right, go ahead. Now, this is also going into how there was no need to cover and hide and to atone for anything that they had done because they done no wrong. Because the fig leaves come in from the Most High to cover up the sin that they had done. That represents the sacrifices and the repentance that they had. All right. So this also represents the purity of their hearts and obedience to the Most High. All right, read.
Genesis chapter 3, verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle.
Now, if you look at the serpent being more subtle, it's the same root word. It says irwam. And then the nakedness says irwam yam. So irwam is the same four root words of what the man and the woman have. It's the same thing that how the Satan is, but it's on the flip side of it. All right, the wickedness and the deceitfulness and taking advantage of that purity and that innocence and that nakedness. So he's naked, so meaning he's fully exposed. He's all out there, but it's on a negative tip. All right, go ahead.
than any beast of the field,
Mhm.
which Yahweh Elohim had made.
So he was created by the Most High. Read.
And he said unto the woman.
So first of all, he don't have no business talking to another man's woman. First of all, and she by herself. We can infer. So he said to the woman, what?
Yea, hath Elohim said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden?
Why is this serpent asking the woman about what she learned from her man? Her man told her that. So she don't have no reason to engage with this devil asking her, what did the Most High say? Okay, that's evil and wicked right there. So the woman is in a funny position right now. She's supposed to be worried about her husband, worried about her man, worried about her head. But she's not. That's her mistake. See, she's supposed to be serving him. She's supposed to be his servant. She's supposed to be his helper. But now she's out taking advice and conversating with Hashatan, with the serpent. All right, go ahead.
And the woman said unto the serpent.
So the woman said unto the serpent, she don't have no reason. She don't have no reason to be talking to this serpent. So that's off right there again. She has no reason to be talking to the devil, to the serpent, explaining nothing to him. That means all the little videos, all the likes, and that's how Satan creeps in, is through the woman. And he brings her down and tries to make the man fall out of the truth. Try to make the man fall out of worshiping Yahweh. All right, go ahead.
We may eat of the fruit.
So it says we can eat of the fruit. We can eat the fruit. Yes, Mr. Devil, Mr. Serpent, we can eat the fruit. So he said, did the Most High say you can eat the tree of any tree's fruit? That's what she's asking. That's what Hashatan is asking her. But what that got to do with him? You worried about what you eat, and we worried about what we gonna eat. Don't ask me what the Most High told me about what we supposed to be eating. All right, go ahead.
We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden.
So we can eat of all these bounties that the Most High created. Go ahead.
But of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden.
All right, she telling him too much information. The more a woman run her mouth about her man and what he say to somebody else about their relationship, the more ammunition you give Satan, you give the serpent to destroy your marriage and your relationship. Because all her little friends, all his little buddies, they all talking about each other, and they talking about what's going on in your personal life. So Hashatan, the serpent, don't got no reason to be talking to Eve. And this is the devil right here when you go into the book of Revelation chapter 12, the last book. So she answers him, and she says what? But of the tree of what?
But of the tree of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Elohim hath said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall you touch it, lest ye die.
Now she talking too much now. And that's what our women still do now. They talking too much. Running their mouth too much. You ain't got nothing to say to no other man about questions pertaining to me and what the Most High talked to me and told me to teach you. That's why Paul said, let the woman learn in silence and let her learn from her husband. Let her learn at home. So the doctrine that she's believing is one with her head. You see? Salud. Is one with her head. Not some other strange doctrines keeping in. All right? Keep your woman out of all these little videos made by all these different individualites, these camps, these groups and organizations and bodies, no matter who it is. Keep your woman learning from you. You teach your woman. Stop having some other man teach your woman, because that's how confusion and chaos comes in. Now, if your doctrine don't line up with the Bible and your woman is looking, hey, that's a different story. That's y'all problem that y'all still need to ease up. But she's going to learn the truth and hear what's what. If you've been teaching lies, you see. But what I'm saying is, keep your woman out of all these YouTube pages and learning from every man and every camp and every individual, like, you know, all these other people. learn from you so that you avoid what happened with the serpent. You avoid what happened with the serpent because now she's under this influence of another man when she's supposed to be under your influence, not somebody else. All right, read.
Genesis chapter 3, verse 4.
And
the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not
I don't
surely
need that
die.
now. Leave it alone.
For Elohim doth know that in the day that ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open.
So she's saying that Elohim know your eyes going to be open. What she's saying is now Elohim know you're going to be able to distinguish what he's saying from the darkness and the light. All right? That's what he's saying. So Elohim is saying your eyes going to be open. So now he don't want you to be like him. So that's why he told you don't eat the fruit. But it wasn't even like that. Alejandro Shalom. The Most High told them this for their own safety and protection. Don't eat this fruit. It was for their own safety and protection. And when he showed them for their own safety and protection what to do and what not to do, Hashatan is coming trying to get them to go against the Most High and trying to use psychology. Well, that's why the woman, to say, well, the Most High don't want you to do this because he know you're going to be like gods and be like them. But that ain't the reason. The reason was because this is the tree of the fruit of knowledge of good and evil. I don't want you to eat from it. You don't need no explanation or no rational, logical reason why we have to keep certain commandments. Just do it. Just do what the Most High said to do. All the explanation and all of the, and women are good for this. They want you to explain the validity of a command that you give them for their approval. And that's not the way it's supposed to be. It ain't the way like that with the Most High and his son. It ain't like that with the Most High's son, Yahushua, and man. And it ain't like that with the man and with the woman. It ain't like that with the woman with the children. It ain't like that. So why does the woman think that she has the right to question a man to give her a good reason and explanation why she has to do something that he's ordering her or asking her or telling her to do in a good tone, a nice tone, a mean tone, a rough tone, a smooth tone, a passive tone, whatever tone, doesn't matter, has to be done. All right, read.
And ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil.
But they were already as gods. But they were as gods on the righteous, positive tip on the right-hand side. Now, Satan wants them to be like him to go experience and live on the negative side from the experience of their fall, which they're about to go into now. All right, read.
And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food.
So the woman started to examine the tree. She listened to Hashatan. Stop letting your woman listen to Hashatan. You teach your woman. Stop. And a lot of you brothers, man, a lot of y'all are what word can I use, man? In other words, don't sit there with your woman watching a video about a breakdown from somebody else. Listening to the Torah is fine. That's the basic what we need to get out of this captivity. But you listening with your woman about who is Cornelius, who are the real Gentiles, what is John 3:16, and the order and the structure of the camps and all these types of things, man. You supposed to teach your woman, let your woman know the basics and run and deal with your household, man. A lot of y'all give y'all woman too much man powers. In other words, she's sitting down with a notebook, got a notebook full of breakdowns and topics, and now before you know it, she's running into some crazy doctrine that you never taught her. Some crazy doctrine that Israelites don't even believe and teach. Shalom, shalom, Kalaya. Down in Trinidad, you got some doctrine that she's teaching that's not even accurate and right. So the Most High is saying what? The woman was created for a help unto man. That's why she was created. So when she go outside that order and she start listening to the serpent, she start listening to Satan. Now Satan brings another doctrine, teaches her, and then she brings the doctrine back to the man. That's why the main doctrine that's going around now is this lunar worship. This lunar worship. All right? This lunar worship with the sun. with the moon and being worshipped from different holy days, or sun worship with the sunrise Sabbath, or the crescent moon, all these different types of things, man. Because we already went over those things from the Torah, from Genesis chapter 1. All right, read.
And that it was pleasant to the eyes.
So the woman, like, man, this thing looks good. She's aesthetic. She going by her emotions, her feelings. Well, this thing looks good. Adam ain't paying the thing no attention. The Most High told Adam, don't eat it. So Adam didn't eat it. So now here comes Hawa saying, hey, look, this thing looks good. It looks good. All right. The woman said, this thing looks good. Okay. It was enticing to the eye. It was a good tree for food. All right. So she said, what? This tree can give me power. See, but in order to get that power from the tree, she had to have her man, because he's still the head. He had to partake in the tree too. So he can't get her in order if he partake in that tree. If she would have just partaken in that tree, okay, the Most High still sees him as the head. So now the Most High and her can get the woman back in order. But now when Adam partakes in the tree, they fall out of the order that the Most High created. Now there's disorder. Now Satan can flourish with his will. All right. So read that part again. It says she saw the tree for food, and that it was good to the eye for what?
And that it was pleasant to the eye. And a tree to be desired to make one wise.
So make one wise. Okay. Ha shakayal, aware of your environment. Know what's going on. Because wise ain't used right there. All right. Kakam or kakma is not used right there. To become aware and to know. To run tricks and run games and to deceive people. To use deception. And that's what the woman does a lot of times in relationships with the man. Right? And no disrespect or no, and she get caught up in it. And she tried again. And that's why a man will have 4 or 5 different fornication babies, and a woman will have 4 or 5 different babies from 4 or 5 different men from fornication. Because they each trying to run game on the other one, and then it don't work out, and they all each move on to a different victim. All right, go ahead.
She took of the fruit thereof.
So she took the fruit. Go ahead.
And did eat. So
she ate the fruit. So she akal. She akal the part. So she consumed the knowledge that the serpent gave unto her, which is against the knowledge that the Most High gave to her, and she made it part of hers. She consumed it. She believed it. She wanted it more than the knowledge that the Most High gave them, which was not to eat this thing. So she partook of the knowledge from the serpent to eat this fruit, knowing that the Most High Yahweh said, don't eat it. Okay, read.
And gave also unto her husband.
Now she did what?
And gave also unto her husband.
So it says, Wanathan gam la ashashha. So she gave also. Under whose direction? So she is following the order and the plan of the serpent right now. And it's the same way up to this point. That's why scripture says there's no wickedness above the wickedness of a woman. To this point now, it's still the same way. She's taking the fruit, giving to the man. Taking the fruit, giving it to the man. And the man thinks he's in charge, but the woman is really running him. All right. So she takes the fruit and gives it to Adam. So Adam says, okay, the woman got this fruit. I'm going to disobey Yahweh. I'm going to take the knowledge that the woman is giving to me from the gods that she's following now, because now Satan becomes her God. The serpent is the woman's gods now. So now the Most High is throwing out the picture. And now the woman takes this fruit, this way of doing something, this thing to consume and to eat and put into your body, to get nourished with this negative thing. And she brings it to Adam. And what does Adam do?
And he did eat.
And Adam ate it. Okay? And Adam ate it. So she gave it to her husband with her, and he ate it. All right? So she ate and gave also to her husband with her. So this makes like they were together. It was together. So instead of him stopping and checking, he don't want to make his woman mad. He ain't thinking about Yahweh. He thinking about the woman. And now he following in her foolish footsteps, which is really following another God, following Satan. And that's why I teach, anytime you do anything against the Most High, any law you break, you automatically are worshiping another God. And that God is Satan. That God is Hashatan. That God is the serpent from the garden. Because we see right here, they partook of knowledge that Hashatan gave them. And they ate that knowledge. And once they consume that knowledge, they follow Hashatan. But because a lot of times the man is not following the orders of the Most High, he can get with some woman that want to make him weak-minded, that still want to wear tight pants, that still want to have her cleavage showing, that still want to wear tight shirts, that still want her clothes to caress her body. Oh, it's because of my job. No, it's because you wicked. Because you ain't going to, if your job tells you to go to work naked, you're going to leave that job. Some women will, some of y'all wouldn't, okay? But they find every excuse because the man is weak-minded to Yahweh. So now the woman becomes his guide in life to what's right and wrong, according to what she can rationalize to do. But Yahweh's word got to be the measuring stick of what to do and what not to do. Not the woman, not the man. So Adam is partaking of the fruit right now with the woman. Adam is partaking of the fruit with the woman. He's eating the fruit that the woman gave him, so he's turning his back on Yahweh also. So he's breaking the covenant. He's breaking the agreement that he made with Yahweh. Read.
And the eyes of them both were open.
So they both seen the wickedness and the evil and the power that they could get from following Satan. Read.
And they knew that they were naked.
They knew that the Most High had given them something good, something positive, something righteous. So they knew that they were naked. Okay? Iyadmam. So now they got that same spirit of cunningness on them now. The beginning stages of it. Read.
And they sewed fig leaves together.
So now they put the fig leaves together. All right? They sewed the leaf of a fig together. Go ahead.
And made themselves aprons.
And now they covered up their nakedness. So now they trying to figure out a way to do something with the power and energy that Satan gave them. So they compromise the innocence that the Most High showed them. So now they start to take the knowledge of the Most High, throw it out the window, and they doing things to protect and to guard the nakedness that they see that they're in now, following the image of doing things that they got from Satan, that they got from the serpent. So now they start figuring out ways. Okay, so how, instead of saying, you know what, we wrong, we sorry, let's go to the Most High. They say, okay, now how can we make it look like we're not really naked? Okay, let's cover ourselves up with these figs, with this new knowledge that we got. So they actually go about trying to establish a system of worship, of doing things to get more fruit, doing things to get more understanding, doing things to get more knowledge from Hashatan, creating a religious system. And that's why when you go into masonry, they make that apron to cover up their private parts. This goes back into them trying to hide and mask the nakedness of the exposure of the sin and the wickedness that they've been exposed to now, instead of just turning back to Yahweh. All right, read. Call your verse.
Genesis chapter 3, verse 8.
Uh-huh.
And they heard the voice of Yahweh.
So now they hear the voice of Yahweh. They hear his voice, his qawwal. They hear him talking now. Go ahead.
Walking in the garden.
So he's moving. Okay. He's moving in the garden. Go ahead.
In the cool of the day.
So he's moving in the garden. Okay. In the cool of the day. All right, go ahead.
And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of Yahweh Elohim.
See, now they didn't repent. They're trying to hide their sins. They didn't say we're wrong. They hid. They didn't repent. They hid from themselves. They hid from the other creatures. Go ahead.
Amongst the trees of the garden.
They trying to blend in with the other people now. The trees represent the people that was in the garden also. So now they're trying to blend and mix in with the other people. But they got this nakedness, this cloth on their bodies now. That's not the Most High, the way he created them. Okay, so now they taking of the creation of the other trees and trying to use that to hide and create a religious system. Create a system of worship that's against the Most High. Showing that they ate this fruit. They no longer different. They blending in with everybody else now. Read.
And Yahweh Elohim called unto Adam.
So Yahweh called unto Adam, not to Eve. He called the man, not the woman. Okay? He didn't call the woman, he called the man. Go ahead.
And said unto him, Where art thou?
So he said, where you at, son? Where you at, man? Read.
And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid.
He was afraid, so he knew he had done wrong. They knew they did wrong when they put the fig leaves on. When they tried to hide from the wickedness that they had done. And they embraced it and trying to hide from it. So they knew they did wrong. So instead of hiding from your sins, staying away from the body, staying away from keeping the holy days, you got to acknowledge it and repent to Yahweh. Read.
Because I was naked and I hid myself.
I was naked. I knew I was different now. I knew I had messed up. I knew I had given myself over to another God and deity. Read.
And he said, Who told thee that thou was naked?
Who told you were different? Who told you you weren't the same anymore? Who told you were fully exposed? Go ahead.
Hast thou eaten of the tree whereof I commanded thee?
So how did you get this knowledge? Did you eat from the tree I said not to eat from? How did you get this knowledge of evil, of concepts of lust and of sex and of sin? Where did you get this from? How do you understand these things now? Read.
That thou shouldest not eat.
Mm-hmm.
And the man said.
So you asked your woman, where you learn that from? I didn't teach you that. Well, I saw it on such and such video. I don't want you on such and such video. I want you to listen to what I'm teaching you. And the Most High the same way. I want you to listen to what I say, Adam. I don't want you into all these extra other books and doctrines and religions. But how Satan did, he got you following other religions saying that it's part of the Bible. Like the book of Enoch is not part of the Bible. But he got people following the book of Enoch, worshiping in the Babylonian system of worship, which is the crescent moon and beginning the year with the spring equinox. That's what the Babylonians did to worship their gods. So Satan has everybody doing that by saying, oh, it's in the Bible. It's part of the Bible. No, it's not. If it was part of the Bible, it'd be in the Bible. It's not part of the Bible, so it's not in the Bible. Read.
And the man said, The woman whom thou gavest to be with me, she gave me of the fruit of the tree, and I did eat.
So he said, the woman gave me the fruit, and I ate. Read.
And Yahweh Elohim said unto the woman, What is this that thou hast done?
Why did you do this? Read.
And the woman said, The serpent beguiled.
And the woman said that the serpent, all right, the serpent deceived me. Read.
And I did eat.
But what did he eat? How did he deceive her? How did he deceive her? He told her what it was. She can say he got deceived. She allowed herself to be deceived. Why? Because Yahweh said don't eat the fruit. Yahweh said don't eat the fruit. So how can somebody trick you into doing something of your own will that Yahweh said not to do? And that's the excuse people use in captivity. Oh, the white man got me in captivity working this job. No, he don't. He don't make you work that job. You can leave the job. You can be, you can live in a cardboard box. You can get a 1-bedroom apartment instead of a 4-bedroom house, 6-bedroom house. You choose to break the commandments because your standard of living is more important to you than obedience to the Most High. You see, your standard of living is more important than being obedient. All right. So Adam made the choice to break the commandment. Eve saying that Satan deceives her. No, you allowed yourself to be deceived because you wanted to go against the Most High. Yahweh told you what to do and how to do it. And you chose to do something else. You chose to consciously and deliberately go against Yahweh. So who can you blame? Nobody. Read.
And Yahweh said unto the serpent,
So the Most High said to the serpent, read.
because thou hast done this,
Because of your role that you played in this, go ahead.
thou art cursed above all cattle,
You're going to be more cursed than all of the other creatures. Read.
and above every beast of the field.
Uh-huh.
Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life.
So the soul white man is going to stay in a low state. That's why he's in the caves over there. He's in Europe. He don't have the resources that you got on the other parts of the planet. He was pushed into the caves. When you go into Job chapter 30, he was pushed into the caves. All right. And then he came from Mount Seir. And then he went into the Caucasus. Then from the Caucasus, he went into the Appalachians. And then from the Appalachians, he went to the Pyrenees. And then from the Pyrenees, he went, I'm sorry, not the Appalachians, the Alps. And then from the Pyrenees in Europe, he went into the Appalachians. And then from the Appalachians, he went into the Rockies. Everywhere he's at on the planet, he's associated with a group of mountains. In America, he got the Rocky Mountains, and he got the Appalachians. All right, so the Most High brought him to a low level now. And it's going into how Esau is going to be, because Esau is going to take on the attributes of the serpent. All right, that's why I said Esau was a cunning hunter. All right, go ahead.
And I will put enmity between thee and the woman.
Enmity meaning evil feelings between the serpent, Hashatan, and the woman. Okay, so them two don't really rock well together, but they do everything. Enmity meaning that they are really against the Most High once they join forces. When the black woman, the Israelite woman, join forces with Satan or the white man, is to go against the Most High, not to be for or the direct of the Most. That's why I said I'm gonna put enmity. I'm gonna put enmity between y'all. Okay, go ahead.
And between thy seed and her seed.
Between the seed of the woman, which is Yahushua, the black Messiah, the black Savior, and who? And the man, and Satan's seed, which is talking about Esau, the so-called white man. All right. Go ahead.
It shall bruise thy head.
So Satan, the white man, was bruised when Yahushua came on the scene, and he crushed death with his death and belief in Yahweh, and he was resurrected. Read.
And thou shalt bruise his heel.
Bruise his heel, meaning that Hashatan bruised the heel of Yahushua. So he beat him, he broke him down, and he caused death to come upon him. But Yahushua resurrected. So now Satan's death is going to be slow. But Yahushua did die. But the death he died was a physical and a spiritual death, because in that spiritual death he died, he had to totally surrender himself to Yahweh and believe in Yahweh, and then that's how he was able to get resurrected. It wasn't no magic trick. He had to believe, okay, I'm going to die. He had to have the highest level of faith that any creature has ever had. He had to know that Yahweh is going to resurrect him after he dies. Okay, go ahead.
Unto the woman he said,
so now this is the punishment to the woman. Go ahead.
I will greatly multiply thy sorrow.
So I'm going to increase your sadness in what?
In thy conception.
Uh-huh.
In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children.
So in pain, in suffering, having these children, you're going to suffer. You're going to have pain. Go ahead.
And thy desire shall be to thy husband.
So you're going to crave your husband. Your desire is going to be towards your husband. So the woman's supposed to be totally doing what she needs to do to please that man. To please the man. That's what needs to be done. All right? She needs to be figuring out, how can I please my man? What can I do that's going to make my man happy? All right? What can I do that's going to make my man know that I'm strictly for him? That's how a woman's supposed to be. Read.
And he shall rule over thee.
So, mashal, it says, wa hawa'a ya mashal baka. Wa hawa'a ya mashal baka. So the man, mashal, that means to rule, to have dominion, to dominate. So the man's supposed to be ruling over the, plain and simple. The man's supposed to be ruling over the woman. And the word is a straight up word that means to rule, mashal. That's why when the man gives an order and the woman goes against her, she's being seditious. She's rebelling against the lawful authority. Now, once again, a lot of you women out there, you got these men that ain't into this word, that ain't sold out to Yahweh. That ain't a marriage, unless that man has made that commitment and obligation to be with you no matter what. No divorce. No divorce and remarriage on his part if he divorced you for any reason other than fornication. And the woman needs to understand in this relationship that if she leaves the man or gets divorced from the man for any reason, that she cannot get herself another man or husband. If that's not understood, then I would question the authenticity of that marriage, because the terms of the marriage that we say are not understood. So the husband is the full ruler over the woman. She has no rulership over herself. She has no rulership over her own self. The man is her ruler. So anything that she has in this earth, the man rules over it. He determines what's going to be done to it, what's going to be done with it. All right, read.
And unto Adam he said,
Unto Adam, because the Adam was punishment. Because what?
Because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife.
Because you hearken unto the voice of your woman. He says, Kaya Shemaith La Kwawal Ashat Ka. Because you listen to your woman, number one. She's supposed to be your helper. But you listen to her to lead you the wrong way against me. So she became Satan's helper. And when she became Satan's helper, you didn't check her. You didn't check her once she became Satan's helper. You let her help you do evil. You listened to her. That's his first mistake. Read.
And has eaten of the tree.
Wata'akal man ha'itza, eating the tree. Go ahead.
Of which I commanded thee.
Ashira tazawayat yaka la amar la ata akal. Read.
Saying, thou shalt not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for thy sake.
So I told you, don't eat of this tree, and you listened to the woman and you ate the tree. You ate the fruit from, you ate of that tree. All right, you ate from that tree. So now the ground is cursed. But that curse was lifted after the flood. All right, read.
In sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life. Thorns also and thistles shall it bring forth to thee, and thou shalt eat of the herb of the field, and the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread, till thou return unto the ground.
So now Adam had to go through this whole thing in his lifetime. Hard labor to get the fruit of the ground. Okay, go ahead.
For out of it wast thou taken.
So you came from the earth. You came from the soil, the Adamah, the dirt. That's Adamah. You came from Adamah. So a lot of people say that just that it's a metaphor for Adam taken from the dust, but Adam actually came from Adamah, from the dirt. So every element that's in the dirt is in your body. Gold is in your body. Silver is in your body. Tin, zinc, iron, copper. All these things are in your body in small microscopic forms. They're in your body. All right, read.
For dust thou art, and unto the dust shalt thou return.
Go ahead.
And Adam called his wife named Eve.
So now Adam says, I'm going to call you Hawa. Read.
Because she was the mother of all living.
Now you're the mother of all things living. So he called her name Hawa. All right. Go ahead.
And unto Adam also and to his wife did Yahweh Elohim make coats of skin.
Now the Most High gives them a system of redemption. They tried to do it themselves when they made figs. That's establishing a new religious system. You see? They try to do it in their own way. I'm going to take figs and do it. Fig leaves and make some aprons. I'm going to establish my own way back to the Most High. I'm going to establish my own way to worship the Most High. I'm going to establish my own way to get rid of my sins. I'm going to establish my own way to keep the Sabbath, and so on and so forth. All this garbage and BS. So read that part again.
Unto Adam also and to his wife did Yahweh Elohim make coats of skin.
So the Most High made coats of skin. Go ahead.
And clothed them.
And the Most High clothed them. Okay. So the Most High put the coats and skins on the garments of skin, which is this is katanwath, which means tunics. So he made them tunics, iwad. So he made like tunics, garments made out of skin, tunics. So he made long tunics for them. So now he shows them, this is your culture now. You're going to wear long tunics. This is the culture. We're going to cover everything up now. All right. So the tunics represent the commands that the Most High gave them to stay away from that tree of the knowledge of good and evil, because the original figs represented them going deeper into idolatry, satanic worship, obeying Satan. And then the Most High comes back, puts everything in order with the man, the woman, well, with the serpent, the woman, and the man. And then once the Most High does that, he says, now I'm going to make you garments of skin. I'm going to make katan of made out of skin. So I'm going to give you long tunics made out of skin. So I'm going to give you a way to hide the nakedness that you're exposed to now because you ate from that tree. Everything's going back to Hashatan, the tree they partook because of him. All right, the garment that they made, the figs to cover their privates, they made because of him. And then Adam eating it was because of him. Eve having a dialogue with him was because Hashatan began the dialogue. So now Yahweh is saying, take these leaves, take them off. This is your old filthy garments. This represents your life of sin. Your life when you tried to hide yourself from me and you went into the negative side with Hashatan. Take that off. Now take these garments, they are katanwath, these garments that I'm going to give you, these tunics that I'm going to give you. So this is how you cleanse yourself, how you, that nakedness is no longer being held against you. I'm forgiving you, but you got to do this and do that. So that represents the atonement that Yahweh gave them. Right, and that's verse 21, right? Okay, so that goes into Genesis. So now the Most High, he put everything back in order. He put everything back the way it's supposed to be. He put everything back on point and back on task. The sister says no sound. Sorry, I just seen that message. Sorry, there's no sound. Man, I apologize. Can you hear now? I guess we gotta. No sound. A little bit of sound. There's no sound. I'm sorry. So somebody on no sound over on YouTube. Sorry, I forgot. All right, so that's it. That's it. We finished. All right, that's the lesson for today. So pretty much showing you the order that the Most High set up. That we gotta cover that order. We gotta be in order with the Most High and do things in the way that He showed us marriage. We gotta have the marriage, and we gotta stay with our parents until we go out and we get our own wife. And that's when the man leaves his mother and father. Until he gets his own woman, he stays with his mother and father. And then, because the scripture says ilkan, meaning upon this, upon yes, like this is the reason why the man leaves his father and his mother, and he becomes one with his wife, cleaves unto her. All right, so Shema Yasharallah Yahweh Alahayna wa Yahweh Akkad wa Habta At Yahweh Alahayka Bakal Lababka wa Bakal Napashka wa Bakal Ma'atka. Hear, O Israel, Yahweh our power, Yahweh is one, and you shall love Yahweh your power with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might. Dawadi Yahweh for your law, Dawadi Yahweh for giving us a little bit of understanding. Forgive us, please, for our sins and transgressions, us and our fathers. Help us be better. We love you. Thank you for sending us your son, Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, to die for our sins. This we ask, and this we thank and praise you for in the name of your son, Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, the one thing out of mind. All right, y'all, that's all. Share it. This is the end. Okay. Muy bien, Alejandro Silva. Okay. Él está, sí, está bien, lo que está diciendo está bien, es la verdad. Está diciendo tanta cosa. Está diciendo tanta cosa está como, es tu clase, no es mi clase nomás, es tu clase, parece, es tu clase. Sí, vamos, ¿este pertenece a la enseñanza o pertenece a otro tema? ¿Este pertenece a la enseñanza? Ok, hablamos pronto, hablamos otra vez. Okay, shalom everybody. Yahweh bless you in the name of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. Thank everybody from India, from Brazil, from America, California, from Gujarat. Okay, so thank everybody for joining in. Hallelujah, all praise to Yahweh from America, California, New York. Most High, you with you. Shalom to come.